Well, good morning. At least for me, it's morning. I always practice in the morning because if I practice first thing in the morning, I know I get it done. If I practice in the evening or later, there's always something happening that I won't do it. So, this is why I'm always practicing in the morning. So, welcome to this stretch and flow, and we're just going to take it a little bit easier. We're still going to stay fluid and flowing, but also hold stretches for longer periods of time. So, let's sit on our bottom and let's start with a side body stretch, a lateral stretch to one side. For this, we're going to raise up our arms, deep inhale. Right hand down on the floor and left hand overhead. Try to keep the arm parallel to the ear, the shoulder relaxed and down, and both sit bones stay on the ground, on the floor. You can stay higher up on the arm. And then let's stretch to the other side. Make sure your shoulder doesn't roll forward, but stays open. If you're turning forward, you went too deep, too far, and it's not as good of a stretch. So both hip bones stay on the ground. Let's come out of the stretch, and let's come into a twist. Nice, easy twist to the right side. Really straightening up your spine and breathing. And let's come, before we come to the other side, let's switch legs. The other leg is in front now, and the back is really straight. It's more important to straighten your back further than to bend your back and just this way to get deeper into the stretch. So breathe deeply here. Let your breath flow freely. And let's straighten out the left leg to the side. The right leg is in, and we're going to roll over the knee to the side of the straightened out leg and stay here in a nice side body stretch. So you're going to feel this in your hamstring, calf, and also to your side body. Again, you can round your back here and fully bend over. And I'm pointing my toes here, but you can also stay up on your fingertips or your arms. I'm going to flex my toes this time and really intensify the hamstring stretch. Now, don't do this if it's not comfortable for you. You don't have to grab also your foot. You can just flex your toes and you will feel a deeper stretch if you can't reach it. Lift out of the stretch. Now we're going to come into side body stretch. So I'm going to take my hand to the foot and come into a lateral stretch. But you can stay way further up. Again here, stay open with the shoulders. A nice clean line. And let's come out of this and let's come into the easy twist. Straightening out your back again. Deep breaths. Stay conscious and aware of your feet. And let's switch side. Straighten out the right leg. The left leg comes close to your pelvic bone, and we're going to just walk ourselves towards that straightened out leg. I'm going to help my foot a little bit to bend further down and then relax into the stretch. Breathing deeply. Now you can stay again up on your fingers, on your hands. You can just sit up straight if that's already a deep enough stretch. Otherwise, just relax. Rise up and flex your foot, maybe staying up here on your fingertips, or you grab your foot and really intensify the stretch this way. Still breathing deeply. If your breath is restricted and you can't breathe deeply, then you went too far into the stretch and you need to back off. It's a good indication for you to remember. Now let's come into the side body, stretching the lateral stretch. Again, you can stay up on your elbow, on your hand, whatever feels good. Now, you can, if you even go further, grab your toe with the upper hand. But to me, it didn't feel good, so I didn't do it. Let's come into the nice twist. Stay aware of your extended foot and toes. Don't let them fall to the side. Just keeping awareness of your entire body. Breathing. And slowly come into the straddle pose. Flex and point your toes. Flex. Hold the flex and point. Hold the point. Breathe. Hold the point. Breathe. And move from side to side, just loosening up your hip a little bit. With a breath to one side and to the other side. You can do it in your own pace, just slowly. And then try to come forward. First, we roll our hip in a circle. I'm sure it's easier for you. You're not attacked by dogs really loving on you. So you just roll your hip circles to one side and then to the other. Now let's come forward onto the elbows or stay on your hands, whatever feels good to you. But make sure your back kind of stays straight. Try to really extend your back. And now flex your feet, hold the pose with flexed feet. Point the feet again, or actually find the middle ground where it's not flexed, not pointed, just the middle. And then I extend even further forward. So I'm actually putting my head down. If that's not comfortable for you, stay on the forearms or on top of the fingertips. You can still stay sitting up and still get a good stretch. Make this yoga practice your own. So whatever feels good to you, to your body, and is beneficial for you. Breathe. I'm going to extend my arms even further out and even come deeper into the forward fold. Now maybe going deeper is on your forearms, maybe it's all the way down, or it was enough where you were. Just stay where it's good. Slowly come out of the pose. And let's come into side stretch in the straddle. Again, stay open with your shoulder to just one side. It doesn't matter which side first. And then to the other side. Keep your shoulder back. Come back into the middle. And let's come into hands and knees. And we're going to do some cat-cow. So deep breathing and just get the fluid movement going of cat and cow. And I like to stay in one pose for a second and hold it and breathe a little bit deeper. And I like to side body roll, circle to one side to really loosening up my back and then to the other side. Just whatever feels good for you. You can also stay in the cat-cow. I'm doing this again now. Staying in the cow and then in the cat and just moving forward and back just a little bit. And then let's come into a downward facing dog. If you cannot straighten your legs all the way and get your heels down, don't worry about it. It's more important to have your back straight and a clean line with your back. You can bend your knees as much as you need and want to, and maybe it's beneficial for you today. Draw in your belly and breathe. Now let's look forward and then come into a standing forward fold. Maybe you need to bend your knees a lot, maybe a little, maybe you don't need to. I need to bend them a little. I'm going to grab opposite elbows and just hang here and breathe. Again, make room in your pelvis area and your belly. Draw in your belly and breathe deeply. Now straighten your back, prepare pose. Let's walk forward with your hands and your feet. Come into a nice plank. Move through chaturanga, upward facing dog. Look over one shoulder, over the other shoulder. Come to the middle again. And let's come through a child's pose with extended arms and then into the downward facing dog. I find this very beneficial for my back. I'm dealing with a little back issues here, so it's a lot easier if I first go into child's pose, then into a downward facing dog. Now let's come into a plank and move a little back and forward, activating your core. Hold the pose, not your breath. Now again, come through chaturanga and come into a laying down position into Sphinx pose. So elbows are on the floor and you're dragging yourself forward. Your legs are so extended and straight that maybe your knees will lift off. Your butt is actually relaxed and should be wiggly. You can look up, but if that's not good for your neck, you can look down or keep it neutral. Important is that your chest really wants to extend forward. Now I like to go a little bit deeper. I'm going to come into a seal pose, but if this is too much, then don't do it. So I'm coming here up onto the hands, but it should not hurt your lower back. If it's pinching, come back into Sphinx pose. Now again, upward facing dog. Move through child's pose with extended arms forward. Come onto the fingertips. Breathe. And then into a downward facing dog. Draw in your belly. Extend your back. Try to push your arms, your shoulders away from the floor and breathe. Look forward and shift your weight all the way to the hands. Just stay on the toes, tips of your toes, and back into a downward facing dog. Now extend your right leg up to the sky and then draw the knee into your chest or towards your nose. Again, three-legged dog. Extended the right leg to the sky and into your chest. Extend the leg again. Keep the hip closed, parallel. And again, draw on that knee towards the chest. Hold it and step forward with the right leg. Come up into a high lunge. Lift the arms up if that feels good to you. If not, you stay. Just keep the hands by your side. And then move the hands behind your back. Clasp them behind your back, opening up your chest, and then I come into a peaceful warrior, moving forward. Now lots of strength in the legs here. A little bit of a balance and shoulder opener. Always keep your core engaged. Now lift out of this pose again. Lift your arms, extend them upward. Look at your hands. And come down with the hands. Step back, plank, and through chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Through a child's pose with extended long arms on the fingertips, and then into a downward facing dog. Now come into the plank. Move forward, shift forward the weight. Extend the left leg to the sky and draw the knee into your chest. Again, three-legged dog, left leg extended. And then move the knee into your chest. Extend the leg back. Lift the knee into your chest, hold it here. And then step through into a high lunge. Inhale, lift your arms up, look to your arms if you can. Pushing your heel down. Breathing. And clasp your hands behind your back. Maybe the other thumb comes on top. And then move forward into a peaceful warrior. Breathe. This is a balancing pose, not always easy. Lift out of the pose. Extend your arms up again. Look into your thumbs. And then move through your vinyasa. Actually, we're going to step up. We're going to come into a forward fold. This time I have my hands on the floor, but you can also grab opposite elbows if that's easier for you. Now I'm going to clasp my hands behind my legs and behind my calves and deepen the forward fold here a little bit. Draw in your belly a lot. Move your feet out. They're pointing outward the same direction as your knees and come into Malasana. I have my hands on the inside of my knees and I'm pushing my hips open. Trying to straighten my back a lot. Now let's come into the twist on one side. Skip it if it doesn't feel good to you. Feels good to me. Put the other hand down and let's come into the twist on the other side. Deep hip opener and at the same time a nice twist. Let's come into Malasana again, straight back. And then just move forward. You can bend your back here, that's okay. It can be rounded. Deep breaths. Now slowly come up. Lift your back again, straight back. Put your hands on the floor. Move those legs parallel again to the floor, hip width apart. Extend your arms, preparation pose. And extend that left leg back. We come into a warrior 3 pose. So lots of strength here. Stay on the fingertips. Or if you can have your hands in front of your heart, in front of your chest in prayer pose. Hold the pose. It might be wiggly, that's okay. Put your hands down again and put the leg down. Let's lift the right leg, extend it back. Stay on the fingertips, maybe one finger, or have your hands in front of your heart. Try to stay in a straight line, hold the pose. And balance means that you might be wiggly. If you fall out, just come back in, no problem. And put your hands down again, feet together, forward fold. Rise up, lift your arms up over your head, and come into lateral stretch on one side. So both legs are straight. Try to straighten the arms as much as you can, keeping the shoulder open, and hands to your side. Feet hip width apart. Come down into a chair pose. Maybe you touch your arms to the floor first and then extend the arms up. Maybe you look up. Draw in your belly here quite a lot. Have your hands in front of your chest and then slowly try to sit down with the extended arms, really slowly. Extend your legs out. And let's come into Savasana. Take room, take space. And relax. Let everything go. Process. what you have just practiced. Now slowly deepen your breath. Extend your arms overhead. Maybe flex, point your toes, extend your arms. And I always love to draw my knees into my chest and wiggle from side to side. Taking your time. And then I'm going to roll up and down. If you don't like that, you can just come to the side and come to a seated position. Otherwise, I'm going to roll up and down. Let's do it one more time. Up and down. And come into a seated position, one leg in front of the other. And I like to do my rolls. My chest rolls to one side. First slow, and then I'm going to include my hips. So big rolls. Almost like a cat-cow. Really breathing deeply here. And then I get my other foot in front and start the circles into the other direction with my chest. Big circles. And then include the hips, make the circles really big and wide. Loosening everything up. And then lateral stretch to one side. Both sit bones are on the floor. To the other side. Stretch out your neck. Look down. Come up and look to the other side. And then stretch your chin down. Come to the middle. Let's lift up our arms. Extend them up. And exhale. Hands to your side. Again, lift up. Inhale. Stretch up. Exhale. Last time. Inhale. And exhale. Thank you for practicing with me. God bless you.